Okay, this week I'm still going to kind of get into like the concepts of hobbies and stuff and everything that you can use to in essence, kind of keep yourself busy and chew up some time and everything. So I'm going to use the stereotypical, like pretty much always do, like the 9 to 5 work week example to kind of do this, and so how you can showcase how you can change and habits and stuff and come across a substance abuse as behaviors and habits and stuff like that. Now there is of course like psychological and genetic and more like the neuroscience behind it and everything. There are people that are a lot smarter than me that can explain especially like the neuroscience and the chemical imbalances and the brain chemistry of the addiction and stuff like that. That for that stuff you're probably going to have to, like I said, check out people that are like a lot smarter and have studied this stuff a lot more than me and everything. So what comes to mind for me, like I know Andrew Huberman's a big neuroscience scientist and everything, and so you could probably check out his stuff and everything. So, but I don't know if off the top of my head whether he has anything on addiction or something like that. So the great thing is that we have this thing called the internet that you can do research on stuff like that and everything. Now, I have always stated and will state that the best sources that you're like when you're going into the internet for websites would be like your .edu, .gov, and .org. .edu is usually attached to universities and stuff because edu is for education. .gov is usually a government websites, and usually those tend to have a good credible sources and everything. And .org, it's like this same thing. They're usually a top of the line organizations and stuff like that. .coms, you tend to get more into the realm of opinion and kind of anecdotal bias and viewpoints and stuff like that. So you kind of have to, when you're coming across .coms, is okay, I've got this .com website, let me check others so I can in essence I trust, but I'm going to verify to make sure that these .com sites are valid. So, but that stuff like that, like I said, the neuroscience, the brain chemistry, and the genetic part, and stuff like that is more towards other stuff. The focus of this, I'm going to focus on habits and behaviors to try and change your habits and behaviors. So again, using this stereotypical 9 to 5 Monday through Friday work week and everything, what you want to get yourself set up with is habits and behaviors. Like for instance, maybe you were, or even with not the 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, manufacturing is another good example of working Monday through Friday. You might work a first shift 7 to 3:30, but getting in the same kind of a habit during the week. What you do, me, I have always been talking about fitness and everything. Athlete X programs would be perfect to fit into the work week, especially the prime example is the AX1 program, which is the flagship program for Athlete X. It's 5 workouts every week, so you schedule them Monday through Friday during your work week. So what you do, I've stated, you set yourself up on Sundays, and you keep setting yourself up during the subsequent days of the week to set yourself up for the following day. So you set yourself up, get yourself stuff set up on Sunday for Monday. You get your a post-workout protein shake, you get your pre-workout set up, you get all your clothes, all your food all lined up, and then that way when you get up, it just, in a sense, you're removing any and all obstacles. Okay, I got all this set up that you can just basically grab and go and flow through the workday. So Monday rolls around, you get up, you get yourself all situated for work, you get everything together, you get dressed, you shave, you shower, you grab your food for your lunch and dinner, and your post-workout shake, your pre-workout, and you get off to work, and then you do your workout after work. You do that Monday through Friday, and dealing with the behaviors and habits and stuff, getting into the professional help with therapists and counselors, getting into maybe an outpatient group, like you do stuff like that, you do each like one-on-one with a therapist and like a group with outpatient once a week. So you do all that, and then like you're basically filling your week with work, like counseling, your workouts, you're getting your nutrition in, and like then all of a sudden you have weekends where you're like, well, biggest thing, like, oh man, my weakness is always if I have too much free time, I tend to start dwelling on like, oh well, I'm going to go to the bar, I'm going to start drinking everything. This is where like the whole concept, like the routine that I've gone over, like in Saturday. Well, I haven't done my cleaning. I need to get my laundry done. I need to get gas in my car. Like I need to cook my food, and like I do all the prep for this next week. So then you start chunking away your Saturday to get stuff like that done. Well, okay, well it's 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. I've got all this free time. Like, what do I do? So this is where like hobbies will come in to kind of, in a sense, switch the habit and behavior. Okay, so it's 4 o'clock, and instead of like, okay, well now I'm going to go to the bar and get drunk. You now go to your local gaming store. So like showcasing products and stuff, like books and stuff behind me. This is the player's handbook for Dungeons and Dragons. So you can get into like a group with that and everything. Check that's why I say check your local gaming local gaming stores, because a lot of times they'll have D&D groups that go into store and actually play there. So that's like a great way to check out D&D and everything. And the great thing about that is that like usually a session runs like 3-4 hours. So like I said, Saturday all of a sudden like you're, well, I've got everything I need to do. I've got all my errands done. I've got like all my cooking, cleaning, laundry, and all that stuff done and everything. Okay, well, instead of going out to the bars and like getting drunk and everything, what you can do is go to the local gaming store, get into like a D&D group. You start at like 5 o'clock, and then all of a sudden, by the time you're done, it's 8-9 o'clock at night, and you're heading home. And of course, like I'm going to say, you kind of want to take roads and ways, not going past the bars where you're going to be tempted to like, oh yeah, I'll just stop here for a drink. Take different ways so you bypass those. You can go straight home. And then another thing is like I want to showcase is like a good old card deck that I have. So like for Magic the Gathering. So good old like hefty cards and everything. So this is like a Magic the Gathering deck that I made up for doing that. And so again, like a lot of times like the local gaming store that like I go to has like casual games on like Saturday nights. So like this is pretty much like exactly what I do like on my Saturdays. Like I mentioned, getting all like the errands done. Like, okay, well, I got my cooking and food prep done. I got my laundry done. I've done my cleaning. I've like okay, I've got this video recorded and everything, and like I go about and get all my other errands done. I got gas in my car. Like maybe I need to like put some mail out or something, or like maybe pick up some like cleaning supplies. So I got all that done. Okay, well I got some time left to do, and like I'm usually up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So like I usually get all that stuff done early. So for me, like okay, well like the Magic the Gathering session doesn't start until like 5 o'clock. So like I'm usually done by like noon, 1 o'clock. So like okay, so I still have like a few hours. Like this is where the concept of going out for like a walk comes in handy. So like I can like go outside, find like a local walking trail and do like that for like a couple hours, get some exercise and stay active before I go over to like play games and stuff and everything. If you're like me and like you're in like the Northeast or maybe like the northern or just northern hemispheres in general, and the northern latitudes in like America or even Europe, where during this time of the year when it's like a still tail end of winter at the time of this recording, it's still like kind of like the weather's still kind of shitty outside, and you're kind of like, oh, I don't want to fucking go and walk out in snow and everything. I don't have any snowshoes or something like that, and like just go to your local gym and get like a. I know Planet Fitness gets a bad rap and everything because like it's the kind of like you always see those like videos of people doing stupid shit and everything, and it's like a beginner gym. But like what you can do, to hell with that. Like just go there for $10 a month, and you can for like an hour and a half, like you can just walk on the treadmill and everything instead of walking outside and everything. It's the same kind of concept and everything. You can tune up some time, and then like maybe you afterwards you take a shower, and then you go to like the local your local gaming store, play Magic the Gathering or play Dungeons and Dragons, or like you could get into even like a board games. So like some of the board games that are big out there are like there's like a Hero Quest, there's like a BattleTech, there's Talisman. You can get in like even traditional ones, so like that you find at like your big box stores and not your gaming stores. Like everyone knows Monopoly, Clue, and Risk and stuff like that. Like you can get into stuff like that, get one of those, and get a bunch of your friends and go to the local gaming store and play one of those instead of like the card games or D&D or something, and like end up playing for like 2 or 3 hours. Same kind of concept, just basically killing time, getting like with in a situation and with the social situation and making friends, getting into a place where like you aren't at a bar where like, oh well, I'm supposed to be drinking to be sociable. You're now getting into a situation where you're playing a game to be sociable and everything. So that's like a way like you can use up like your weekend to switch up your habit and behavior. So instead of going, like I said, to a bar to get drunk to be social, go to like a local gaming store and play Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, or like one of the board games that I mentioned to be sociable. And at your local gaming stores, like alcohol is not going to be involved in everything, so it's like a perfect way for you to be in a situation where like you're not like stressed to be able to drink to be sociable. But of course, again, if you're someone that has like maybe issues to work through, you're going to with social situations like that and everything, get with a therapist and like a professional first to be able to work out with those issues, so that you can take that next step and everything, because you might be someone who maybe has issues getting into like those situations without drinking and everything. So like again, this is where like the professional help comes in to kind of get like your mind clear and see what makes you tick and everything, and where your strengths and weaknesses is. So I'm just using this as an example to kind of like of how you can redirect and reuse like or not necessarily reuse, but like divert your attention to something else other than like a drinking and like abusing drugs or alcohol and everything. So I'm just going to kind of like hammer away on like using habits and behaviors to kind of like in essence help overcome your substance abuse